Hello friends, I welcome you to EPG Pathshala. My name is Dr. Amit Katoch and I am working as Assistant Professor in the University Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management of Punjab University, Chandigarh. Dear students, I would be taking the module on passenger needing special attention. Under the paper travel agency and tour operations, itinerary preparation and tour package. After going through this module, the students will be able to know the concept of special passengers, understand the types of special passengers and their needs, understand the present need to cater to the special passengers and their social acceptability. Firstly, I would start with introduction. Globally, it is estimated that there are over 1 billion persons with disabilities, as well as more than 2 billion people such as spouses, children and caregivers of persons with disabilities, representing almost a third of the world's population who are directly affected by disability. While this signifies a huge potential market for travel and tourism, it still remains vastly underserved due to inaccessible travel and tourism facilities and services, as well as discriminatory policies and practices. For this, the need of the hour is to understand the people needing special attention. They are those who need special care or have access needs due to age or physical condition which can be an obstacle while traveling or during tourism activities. These people face problems in publicly and privately owned tourist locations, facilities and services. For example, old age people, handicapped, pregnant women, etc. It should be understood that tourism product is a blend of many services and products across many sectors at the national, regional and of course the international levels. From idea to implementation, a single destination visit normally involves many factors, including accessing information, long distance travel of various sorts, local transportation and accommodation, shopping and dining. So, the special service is not only the solution, but ingraining accessibility into the social and economic values of society for such people is more important. Accessibility is a central element of any responsible and sustainable development policy. It is both a human rights imperative as well as an exceptional business opportunity. In this context, improving services and providing special attention and care does not only benefit persons with disabilities, it benefits all of society. To ensure that this initiative is developed in a sustainable manner requires that tourist destinations go beyond ad hoc services to adopting the principle of universal design, ensuring that all persons, regardless of their physical or cognitive needs, are able to use and enjoy the available amenities in an equitable and sustainable manner. This approach forgoes preferential or segregated treatment of differently abled constituents to permitting uninhibited use of facilities and services by all at all time to equitable effect. Now I would discuss about the types of passenger needing special attention. The passengers, tourists or travelers who need special attention are the one who are facing some obstacles. It may be while accessing the place or availing any service while traveling. Following are the some examples of passengers needing special attention. Silver haired tourists, that is the senior citizens, visually and hearing impaired, mental disorders and epilepsy, passengers requiring wheelchair or stretcher, unaccompanied minors, expectant mothers, traveler with infants. Firstly, I would discuss passengers with limited mobility and senior citizens. This type of passenger requires wheelchairs. There are no special charges for carrying people on wheelchairs. However, if passenger is boarding from a foreign destination, he or she might be required to pay the handling charges at the airport of departure. The charge list is different for different destinations. It shall be noted that there is a limited inventory of wheelchairs per flight. The passenger shall inform the airline at least 24 hours before the scheduled departure of flight. For people who have been incapacitated due to illness or post-operative care and need wheelchair, there is a need to produce a fit to fly certificate which shall not have been issued prior to 48 hours of scheduled departure of flight. Similarly, for people who are not self-reliant, there is a requirement for them to travel with a ticketed assistant. Medical clearance and a fit to fly certificate is required, and the latter shall not have been issued prior to 48 hours of departure time. Manual, collapsible and non-spillable battery powered wheelchairs are also allowed in the flight. However, wet battery powered wheelchairs in operating state are not allowed. Now I will discuss about visually and hearing impaired. Visually impaired people are those who need special attention while boarding and the flights. Visually impaired people are required to check in at least 2-3 hours prior to the departure time for smooth flight experience. If carrying a guide dog, reservation shall be made through call center of the airlines and not online. Due notice of carrying of dog shall be given during the flight booking. Dogs are not allowed on seat. A moisture absorbent mat shall be carried and be placed under the seat on which the dog shall be seated. Dog shall be well trained, restrained and muzzled. In general, it is required that the people shall inform about their special needs during the time of booking or check-in. Therefore, it makes their travelling process complex and crucial as compared to other normal class of passengers. Mental disorder or epilepsy. Airlines usually require that a fit to fly certificate be issued by a registered medical practitioner not prior to 48 hours of the scheduled departure time in cases where a person with mental disorder is flying. In addition, there is also a requirement that the passengers shall not have taken alcohol within 12 hours of commencement of flight. Other condition is that the passenger should be kept under sedatives during flight and stops en route if he or she is in a state of excitement. Airlines usually require that a registered medical practitioner and an assistant must accompany a passenger who have been in an excitement state and have been administered sedation within 2 weeks prior to the date of commencement of flight. These formalities again make it difficult for the passengers to travel and enjoy like normal passengers. Passengers requiring stretchers. Some of the passengers require special attention in context that they require. Wheelchairs. Some of the main provisions relating to special assistance required by passengers on flight are that no stretcher passengers should be allowed on international routes. Secondly, carriage of such passengers is subject to airplane configuration feasibility. There is a special provision to obtain the clearance of all such cases from the airline's CMO. There are charges associated with the carriage of stretcher using passengers. These shall be inquired at SpiceJet numbers. Only one stretcher per flight is permitted, and maximum of two passengers are allowed to accompany stretcher passengers. Unaccompanied minors. Only children in age group of 5 to 12 years are accepted as unaccompanied minors. There is a requirement to fill a form called the unaccompanied minor form and provide photo identification proof. Expectant mothers. Expectant mothers in their 36th week of pregnancy are allowed to fly. Those between 28 to 36 weeks are allowed to fly if they produce a fit to fly certificate from their attending gynecologist, MBBS doctor, and a certification on their duration of pregnancy. Women into 37 week of pregnancy are not allowed to fly. This certificate shall not be older than 2 weeks from the date of flight, and in cases of complications in pregnancy or multiple pregnancies, it is required to produce a certificate no older than 48 hours from scheduled departure. Travelers with infants. Children who are less than 2 years old are classified as infants. They must be accompanied by an adult all the time. However, children less than 7 days of age need a certificate authorization from the physician. Besides the usual age proof, birth certificate, ID proof and passport of infant. Carriage of infants is not charged any basic fare. Carriage of infants doesn't charges any basic fare, but there is a need to pay a fee for booking the infant inventory on a particular flight. Problems faced by people needing special attention. For persons with disabilities, traveling can be a challenge, as finding the information on accessible services, checking luggage on a plane, booking a room to fulfill access needs often prove to be difficult, costly, and time-consuming challenges for persons with disabilities. The airlines also face a large number of problems, as it has untrained professional staff capable of informing and advising about accessibility issue, inaccessible booking services and related websites, lack of accessible airports and transfer facilities and services, unavailability of adapted and accessible hotel rooms, restaurants, shops, toilets and public places, also inaccessible streets and transport services, unavailable information on accessible facilities, services, equipment, rentals and tourist attractions. How does it affect the society or the one who are not disabled? Analysis of accessible tourism from a physical disability point of view make accessible tourism being able to travel without fear, going where and when we want and experiencing the world the same as everyone else. It is acceptable that there are limitations to what one can do, and special treatment is just an understanding of the difficulties. The easiest way to explain accessible tourism is to break the process of traveling down. In simple terms, traveling involves deciding where to go, researching the destination, booking the trip, getting there and enjoying the destination. Special attention is required by special class of tourists to travel, so decision on destination should be made first. Deciding on a destination. Choosing a place to visit should be a happy time, and for the most part it is. Sometimes it is, or it becomes a nightmare because the most important piece of information is not freely available. Special class of passengers are realistic and generally pick places we know to them in advance and will be accessible. But this is often easier said than done because access details are scarce, which leads them on to the next point, so it affects the one who are disabled. Researching destination. Sometimes it is unable to find access information by the special passengers about the destination in advance. The main problem then arises is that why should they incur the expense of telephoning numerous providers to check that whether they can enter the building, visit the attraction or generally just get around a destination with ease and availability. This is harsh and real situation for them, as they would not like to spend time and money at place where they are unable to participate or enjoy the destination. It's surprising how many destinations, tourist attractions and accommodation providers fail to have a simple access statement to this type of passengers. It's actually not that difficult to put a few sentences together to give an indication of accessibility. But what's even more shocking is the amount of money tourism as whole is losing because of its unavailability to the special category of passengers. Booking a trip. Special attendants sometimes may be suffering from such disability that they may have trouble using their hands as compared to normal passengers. Searching for any kind of information, accessibility information, is too much hard for them. There may be some who may many have any help, so many may simply give up on booking a trip. Traveling to the destination. Travel is usually by plane, train and car, which is far better than bearing the odd situations in case of special class of people, which makes it relatively stress free. Any assistance if provided to these people would make it easier for them to make booking in advance and without the additional cost. Enjoying the destination. Accessibility is also an important aspect of realizing the rights of the world's aging population. As we grow older, our chance of experiencing a permanent or temporary disability is increased. A focus on accessibility can therefore ensure that we are able to participate fully in our societies well into our older years. Accessibility also benefits pregnant women and persons who are temporarily rendered immobile. The improvements to physical and service infrastructure that come with a focus on accessibility also encourage a more multi-generational focus in developing planning. For families with small children, accessible infrastructure, particularly in transportation, city planning and building design, improves the ability of these families to participate in social and cultural activities. The United Nations is committed to sustainable and equitable development. Certainly, Making basic adjustments to a facility, providing accurate information, and understanding the needs of disabled people can result in increased visitor numbers. Improving the accessibility of tourism services increases their quality and their enjoyment for all tourists, as well as improving quality of life in the local communities. Special provisions for passengers needing special attention. In airlines, there are separate meals for diabetic persons, persons allergic to peanuts, passengers with disability, more leg space, and other services for the passengers like pregnant ladies, infants, etc. In railway also there are doctors available, and ambulance doctor can be arranged at next stop quite well in advance. In hotels and tourism destinations, there are ramps which make it more accessible for the people with disability. There are audio guides available at all the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and information are also given in Braille so that blind can understand and enjoy the destination same as other people do. Guides with sign language are also available at almost every historical place, which aids in comprehending the story behind the monument for deaf and mute tourists. Society is equally participating in making the world more accessible for such people. For example, the Society for Accessible Travel and Hospitality (SAT), founded in 1976, is an educational non-profit membership organization whose mission is to raise awareness of the needs of all travelers with disabilities, remove physical and attitudinal barriers to free access, and expand travel opportunities in the United States and the other countries. Members include travel professionals, consumers with disabilities, and other individuals and corporations which support this NGO. To raise awareness and provide detailed training on how to serve and market to travelers with disabilities, SAT organizes conferences and provides speakers and panels for other industry associations such as American Society for Travel Agents (ASTA), National Tour Association (NTA), International Institute for Peace through Tourism, and Travel Industry Association of America (TIA). SAT has sponsored the World Congress for Travelers with Disabilities and the Mature since 1977. It also sponsors Travelers with Disabilities Awareness Week, created in 1990 by SAT founder Murray Whitcocker, CTC, to commemorate the ADA. UN on Accessible Tourism. The UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities (CRPD) was adopted by the UN General Assembly in December 2006. CRPD Article 9 on accessibility calls for state parties to take appropriate measures to ensure that persons with disabilities have equal access to the physical environment, information, transportation, and other facilities and services open or provided to the public. It also calls for the elimination of obstacles and barriers to accessibility, including all transportation and facilities. Furthermore, Article 30 on participation in cultural life, recreation, leisure, and sport also calls for state parties to ensure that persons with disabilities enjoy the benefits of tourism. At the 2013 historic UN high-level meeting on disability and development, which included several heads of state, the link of disability and development was discussed, and the meeting called for enhanced action to mainstream disability in the global development agenda. In the outcome document of the meeting, accessibility was identified as a key area for action. In the recent 2030 Agenda for Global Action containing the Sustainable Development Goals, that is SDGs 2015, Goal 11 focuses on principles to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. This goal captures tourism and recreation through its call for the provisions of universal design for accessible and sustainable transport systems, inclusive urbanization, and access to green and public spaces. In its 2011 declaration, the United Nations World Tourism Organization UNWTO predicted tourism will increase and experience sustained development, reaching 1.8 billion international tourists by 2030. Accessible cities and tourism provisions therefore ensure the full social and economic inclusion of all persons, with direct benefits of promoting more sustainable travel habits among users. Now I would summarize the entire module. The present module has helped us to understand the concept of accessible tourism and the prerequisites required to make an effective environment or travel friendly for the special category of people as it is for the rest of the class of traveling passengers. We also learned that passenger needing special attention is not just beneficial for the society, but it is a great opportunity for the business houses as well, as it is the new market segment for tourism companies and for the tourism destinations as well. The travel agents, tour operators should cater to their needs and should take them seriously. This category of tourists need special attention and thus need special care and services. It can turn to be a big sector in tourism and travel. Thank you and have a great future ahead.